All right. So, like, you've finally cleaned out that closet, right?
Yeah.
And you're staring at like bags and bags of clothes. You're thinking, Vinted, here I come. Time to make some cash.
Yeah. Vinted, Poshmark, all those reselling apps. Definitely a popular side hustle these days.
Totally. But before you like dive headfirst into listing all those amazing finds, we got to talk about something maybe not as glamorous as like scoring a vintage Chanel bag for 10 bucks.
Oh, you mean the legal stuff?
Exactly. And, a listener actually sent us a note about this. They were curious about, the legal risks of selling on Vinted, specifically without an LLC. So we're doing a deep dive into that very question. Do you really need an LLC for your Vinted hustle?
It's a really good question. And honestly, a lot of people jump into selling online without thinking about like the legal what ifs.
Right. It's all about those cute pics and snappy descriptions.
Totally. So maybe we should start with the basics. What I is an LLC? And like, why should a Vinted seller even care?
Yeah, for those of us who are more familiar with like, sifting through thrift stores than legal jargon, break it down for us.
Yeah.
What's the deal with LLCs?
Okay, so LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. And basically, it's like a shield, right? It separates your personal stuff from your business stuff.
Okay, so like what does that actually mean in practice?
So imagine this. You sell like an awesome pair of designer shoes on Vinted. Buyer gets them, and then bam! They claim they're fake, right? And they decide to sue. Now, if you're just operating as, a regular person selling stuff, you're personally on the hook. Your bank account, your car, even your house, theoretically, could be at risk.
Whoa, 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 hold on. So like my vintage Dior bag could cost me my actual car.
Potentially, yeah. But that's why the LLC comes in. It's like a barrier between you and your business. So in that lawsuit situation, the LLC takes the hit, not you directly.
Okay, so it's like the LLC is the business and I'm just
Exactly.
Yeah.
It creates that legal separation, limiting your personal liability.
Okay, that makes sense. But now I'm like totally paranoid. What other kinds of legal things have Vinted sellers gotten into trouble for? I mean, besides the whole, accidentally selling a fake Birkin bag situation.
Well, you'd be surprised. There have been cases where people like unknowingly sold things that infringed on someone else's copyright.
Copyright,
Like, say you got crafty and upcycled a t-shirt with like a super popular band's logo on it and you
Right.
sold it on Vinted, that could actually get you into some serious legal hot water.
No way, serious.
Yeah. Or even simpler stuff like a customer saying an item wasn't as described, or that it arrived damaged. Even those kinds of disputes can escalate and turn into lawsuits.
Okay, that makes sense. But I mean, back to the whole LLC thing. Is it really necessary for like everyone on Vinted? What if I'm just like a casual seller, cleaning out my closet a couple of times a year?
Yeah, good point. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. It depends on a bunch of factors, like how much are you actually selling, what kinds of things are you listing, how much risk are you personally comfortable with. Someone who's, just selling a few things here and there might not need the same level of protection as someone who's like running a full-on vintage boutique on Vinted.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay,
So it's all about like weighing the risks and benefits based on your own situation.
Exactly. Now, something that I thought was really interesting that you found is this idea of services that offer free LLC formation. Some even offer like a free registered agent too.
Yeah, I saw those ads online and I was like, wait, what? Seemed almost too good to be true. Like, are these things legit?
They can be, yeah. There are definitely legitimate services out there. But, and this is a big but, you have to read the fine print like really carefully. What seems free up front could end up costing you later. Maybe there are hidden fees or they offer like limited services.
So it's kind of like that free trial that turns into a paid subscription if you don't cancel in time.
Exactly. So you got to watch out for things like, are there limits on how many transactions your LLC can handle? Do they offer ongoing compliance support, to make sure you're following all the rules? What are other customers saying about them? It's worth comparing these services to, the traditional way of forming an LLC just to see the full picture.
Okay, so the bottom line is do your research.
Exactly. Don't just jump at the first free thing you see. And honestly, in a situation like this, talking to an actual lawyer can be super helpful. They can help you figure out the best path for your specific situation.
Yeah, a little legal advice can go a long way, especially when it comes to protecting, your
Yeah,
money and stuff.
absolutely.
So I guess the big takeaway for anyone listening who's thinking about selling on Vinted is, like, don't forget about the legal side of things. even if you're just starting small.
Right. What starts as a fun way to make some extra cash could, grow into something much bigger. And it's always better to be prepared.
For sure. Knowledge is power,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to protecting your hard-earned dough.
Couldn't have said it better.
Well, on that note, I think I have some research to do on those free LLC services. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. It's given us a lot to think about.
Of course, happy to be here. And to everyone listening, happy selling. But stay safe and informed out there.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe your Vinted side hustle could turn into a full-blown fashion empire someday. But in the meantime, stay savvy and stay legal.
Couldn't agree more.
All right, we'll catch you on the next deep dive.